To give everyone at home a better idea of what to look for this season, we bring in our insider, Ethan Skolnick, to get us set. Ethan, what are you expecting from the Heat this season?
Well, I think most people are expecting them to kind of fall somewhere in the middle of the Eastern Conference. So this is as set as I've ever seen it. You've got 7 or 8 teams that should compete for playoff spots, and then you've got a few teams that are not trying at all because basically they're trying to get as high up as they can in the draft for Cooper Flag. But right now, Boston, Philadelphia, New York look better on paper. Milwaukee probably also. So Miami has to get in the mix with Orlando, Indiana, and Cleveland so they can get out of the play-in. I think we'll find out a lot in the first month of the season whether they're going to try to compete for that this year or maybe they try to pivot and sort of refresh this thing around Bam Adebayo going forward.
First step, training camp begins later this week in the Bahamas. You will be there. Who stands out?
Well, I want to see what Jaime Jaquez can do in his next season. You know, they're going to have to get pops from their young guys. So that starts with Jaquez. It starts with Jovic. Of course, there's going to be a lot of questions about the starting lineup. Is Tyler Hero still the starter at the 2 spot? Or is it going to be Duncan Robinson next to Terry Rozier? We didn't get much of a sample size of Rozier and Hero last year, but I do think that Erik Spoelstra is probably going to roll them out as the starting backcourt and see how it works. But I really want to see what Jaquez can do. If he doesn't start, I think he's a candidate to be 6th man of the year this year. This is a guy who I think has more of a ceiling than we anticipated initially. And again, if their young players can really show something, and you include Kel'el Ware in that, maybe Pelle Larsson, their two draft picks, Keshad Johnson, then this team has a chance to surprise to the upside. If the young players don't show that, I have some questions about this team because we've seen that the Bam, Jimmy, Tyler, Rozier mix, I don't know that it's quite a great fit. So to me, it's about the young players this year.
Right. When you have Tyler with those 3 all on ball, they need the ball in their hands. So what should Spo do with Tyler Hero?
I mean, I think the best thing to do with Tyler Hero is put him back in the role where he was the absolute best in the league, which is 6th man of the year. And I understand why Tyler wants to start. I get it. As he always says, I'm an ambitious young player. He's got a pretty decent contract as well. But he is best when he's leading that second unit, and it gives them the spacing in the starting lineup because Duncan Robinson's okay playing off the ball. Tyler, as we've seen, can generate offense as the lead guard, but I don't know that that's the direction that Tyler and the Heat are going to go at the start of the season. When I asked Pat Riley that question at the very end of last year, he said Tyler Hero is a starter. So I think they're going to go into this training camp trying to make the Rozier Hero thing work, but I think ultimately they may decide, might be better with Tyler coming off the bench.
Bam is still the centerpiece, entering his 2nd season as captain. However, how much of this is still Jimmy's team?
Well, I think Jimmy is the ceiling. I've said this before. Bam is the floor. Bam is the floor. If you don't have Bam, everything falls apart. But if this team is going to go anywhere, they need a motivated Jimmy Butler. And we'll see what kind of hairstyle he comes with. I know everybody's excited about that. But I think the Heat just want to see the kind of attitude he comes with. You know, he hasn't really been communicating a lot with the Heat since the end of last season. They didn't give him the extension. Then it came out that he wouldn't sign the extension anyway. So this is kind of a lame duck year, but it's also a contract year in the sense that you could get the best of Jimmy Butler because he wants to get that next contract. But they want him to play more. That's the key thing. 60 games last year, not enough. But the other thing is, in the games he does play, they need to see that kind of effort.
That being said, over under 50 wins this season.
I'm going to go under, but I don't think by much. And I would say maybe in that sort of 45 to 47 range, which that probably gets you to a 6 or 7 spot in the East. Erik Spoelstra, to me, is always good for 5 wins. But I also think there is a chance that this team pivots. If they're not getting the Jimmy Butler that they want early in the year, they have Bam, they have Jaquez, they have Jovic. Could you trade Jimmy Butler at the deadline, get additional assets, and kind of refresh this thing? I think it's possible, and that's why it's hard for me to project a 50-plus win season.
We'll get through camp, then we'll bring you on. Man, excited to have you back for another year with us.
Thank you, Josh.